Hi, I'm Josh Cadillac, and welcome to my podcast, Know Your Shit. I've been blessed to see great success, as well as seeing the bottom up close and personal in 2008. And if there's one lesson I've learned, is that if you want to have success and differentiate yourself from everyone else out there, you need to know your shit. As a successful real estate and crypto investor and an educator, it drives me insane that people do not immerse themselves in their craft. Everyone is so busy advertising and testing new sales techniques, they forget the most important thing, the product. Here I want to talk to the folks that got this right, the most successful people in the world in every industry. Bring them to you and find out what they learned in their business that made it great. When you listen to my podcast, you will know for sure that the topics and experts we have on have one thing in common. They know their shit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Know Your Shit podcast, where our knowledge and pride in what we do drives us to excellence. My name is Josh Cadillac, and I'm in the driver's seat for today as we strive to stop doing deals and start closing for life. We have a great show for you today, and I have a special guest with me here today, Mr. Ignacio Segovia. Hopefully I said that right.
Segovia.
See, I knew I was going to get it wrong. So, Ignacio, why don't you tell everybody what is it you do?
Well, technically, I'm Know Your Shitologist.
I love it.
Yeah, I believe I'm the first professional on this area that you bring here. In our background, we call it ergonomics. Ergonomics is a sign of knowing your shit, literally.
All right. So let's start with that. What got you started doing that? What got you started in your field?
Well, I first studied system engineers and at the university, and at the second year in sixth semester, I decided to study psychology. I wanted to, I like it to do software programming, but I was intrigued by how to program people, how to set up people's mind. So I changed that and I started studying psychology. And after I did my Bachelor in Psychology, I did a master degree in organizational psychology and ergonomics. And ergonomics is the science of the work. The word ergon is assigned to work. But when you read the Nicomatic Ethic, the book that Aristotle wrote, and you analyze the word ergon, is your human function. It's why you are here in this earth, why you do what you do. It's the core of people's self. It's the way that you understand life to achieve happiness, to achieve well-being. So I dedicate myself to do that in corporations like ConocoPhillips Petroleum, Frito-Lay, Pepsi Cola, to analyze what is mainly the JTPs, job task procedures, how people do what they do, and three important things: your bio, your psycho, and your social aspect of the work. So how you do it in your physical, in your body. How is your table? That is the part that the majority of people believe is ergonomics. The people, when you talk with people about ergonomics, they say, okay, the design of the mouse, the design of the car. That's a little piece of ergonomics. Is the in the body part is biomechanics, and in biomechanics is design or user interface design for the body. But also you have the psychological part, how people perceive their job, how people understand their relationship with a machine, the user interface with a computer, how people socialize, how people interrelate with other people.
Sure.
And I did that for many years in corporations, and I decided that people needed that technology in their life. They need to know that I realized that people go around life without not noticing what they should be doing. They don't know their shit. Like literally. They go around life like zombies, and people tell them what to do, but they do not realize that.
As almost as, and the way I like to refer to it is as almost like passengers in their own life, that they never take the wheel.
Yes. Yes. So I
And
help people to take control back. I study cognitive behavioral therapy, psychoanalysis, and the last tool that I took was hypnosis.
mhm,
And I believe hypnosis is a very, very powerful tool to take control of your life. I believe everybody is hypnotized nowadays without noticing.
yeah,
Words in nature, they have an hypnosis characteristic, and people, they are involved in words all the time, in television, radio shows, podcasts, in their own mind the whole day. I'm
sure,
stupid. I cannot do this.
right,
So they are doing hypnosis already, but they
yeah,
are doing in the negative way.
yeah.
They
No,
are doing it against themselves.
absolutely. No, in the coaching that I do, I see that all the time, that people have these narratives that they run through in their mind that are these very self-limiting beliefs. And what's really nuts, what's really hurtful to the people is that it flies in the face with the reality. These are folks that are working hard and doing great work, and they're not believing that what they're doing is actually good. It's not true. And if they would just simply take stock of what reality is, of the quality that they're putting, of what they're bringing to the market is, they would see that they're capable of so much more. But the self-limiting beliefs, it's huge. And I love what you said at the beginning, because it ties very much in. I teach an ethics course, and that ethics is very much what you're talking about, the study of how to do life, how human beings do best, like how to live life in a way where human beings tend to flourish. And it ties in very much with what you're saying. So I love this stuff. Really, really good. Let me ask you this though, Ignacio. For you, where did your success in this? I know that you're successful in this, that you're doing this a lot now, and it's a growing thing for you. Where does it come from for you? Where do you think it comes from?
My success come from, well, in big part is money, in big part is having clients, having students on my academy, but the core of my success is on the face of my clients. Is when a person enter to my session, and at the end of the session is a new person. I'm a change agent. That's my classification. And if the person change in the process, I'm that's my success. My purpose in this life is to help people to move forward, to reach the next level in an easy way. And when my client achieve that, is the happiness in my heart is amazing. When a client call me and say, you changed my life. When a client say, I have a yearly program where my clients hire me for a package. They pay me $3,000 for 10 hypnosis and 30 sessions of coachings, and which is super cheap for the amazing work that I do with them. And after 2 months, they say to me like, my life is a new life. I have control of my life. I'm doing this amazing stuff with my friends, with my family. I have a new boyfriend. It's amazing how people change their life. A couple of months ago, one of my clients, she is a person that in her life she had a lot of physical abuse and sexual abuse, different things, and she had been referring me. She already have more than 2 years with me, and she had been referring me more and more clients. And 2 months ago, she said to me, we want to create a foundation so we can bring more clients to you. We'll pay you. We'll find the money and pay for these girls that they're not allowed to. They don't have the money to do it. But it's so good the way that you change our life, that our group want to help you to find the money to help these girls.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody comes to you and tell you, you are so good that we want to create a
Yeah,
non-for-profit organization so you can offer these tools for free for many people, that is something that touch your heart, that say, well, I'm doing something good. I'm doing
sure.
something good for my family, for the future of this generation, you know?
Yeah, no, and I think that, and this ties in very much with what I talk about, about doing great work and pursuing excellence in all that you do. when you work so hard and you push so hard to be excellent at what you do, you strive to take and make a product that you're proud of, whatever that product, a service, whatever, doesn't matter, something that you're proud of. And when that's acknowledged by people, that they see the value in what you've done, it very much is that that joy of a life well lived sort of sense of that, the end of that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, where you have this moment of, you know what? Yeah, that's what this was all about for me from the beginning. And you get it, you see it, it's there, it got there. And that aspirational aspect, because, in our hearts, we can know we're doing great work. But when people acknowledge it on the outside, they see the effort that's gone in, and they actually acknowledge that, hey, you know what, this was meaningful. This did make a change. I agree, man. That is so powerful. I mean, the idea of,
But we need to be careful with that acknowledge, because nowadays social media tell you that you need to have 1 million followers, 2 million followers, and that you need to change the world.
Sure.
The kids at the school, the teachers are telling them, you need to change the world. You need to. It's not the world. It's not the world that you need to
No.
change. Like I see 3 clients when I'm packed. I see 4 clients a day. Okay, I'm seeing around 20, 25 when I see clients on weekends. No more than that. I'm not, and it's impossible for me to do more than that.
Sure.
But when I change one person, and when I see that change, it's not the change on that person. I know that I'm changing that person. I'm changing his or her family. I'm changing the future of their kids. I'm changing the future of their grandchildren. I'm changing. It's a change,
It's a ripple effect.
humongous.
Absolutely.
But it starts with one person. So it's important to tell them, the society, that it's not a 1 million followers that you need.
No.
No, you need to provide quality in
Excellent.
what you offer, and in that quality you will impact one, two, three, or an amount of people around you that will bring more good things to your life.
Sure.
But
No,
this
I
lie to the kids that they are telling you, no, you need to
and
change the world and have 2 million, 10 million followers in Instagram. They're it's making crazy. It's making these people crazy about more and more.
I
When
agree. I couldn't agree more. And you're absolutely right. And that's the right caveat to put in there. I never would put out there that you should be good at doing things to get yourself attention. It's not about getting yourself attention. It's about doing great work that you as an individual can be proud of. Knowing that you're doing and bringing something to the world that is something good, that the world, good on its face, that the world needs. And when that, when that pursuit, that hard work pays off and people acknowledge that thing that you do. And I agree with you. I mean, I'd rather get a one meaningful acknowledgement from somebody whose life is actually better because of the thing that I do than a million people that just are having an emotional reaction to something I posted. That's you're right, because again, it's getting back to that idea of what makes a human being flourish,
Mhm.
and doing good, meaningful, that word meaningful work is a big part of it. And so that's awesome. Let me ask you this, Ignacio. What do you think makes you good at what you do?
I love it. That
That
is,
always helps.
I love. It's like I love dancing, and everything that I do in my life is like that. I don't think I have, because the difference in the concept of ergon. Ergon is the original Greek word for work. I think that what I do is my ergon. It's not my work. It's not that it's something that I'm doing for the money. It's not something that I'm doing for external recognition. I
Mhm.
do it because it's inside me. It's part of my talents. It's part of what I love to do. I love to talk with people. I believe I have a strong. I believe I have. It's an assignment from God. I need to do it. It's just do. I need to wake up every morning and just do it and do it again and do it again. And my wife love it. My kids they admire what I do. Even some relative they criticize because I stopped being an engineer and now I'm a psychologist and we only talk to people and they don't believe in that. Uh, I don't care. The people close to me, my kids, my wife, that are the people important to me every day, they are on board. So every day I wake up doing these amazing things that bring me happiness and joy, and not only to me, to my clients. So,
Sure. And
and
so,
when a client is not happy because they some people comes to sessions because their wife sent it or another person told them that you should do hypnosis or you should go with this person to do this and that. And when they arrive, I know they don't want to be here, and
yeah,
I tell them, look, you don't want to be here. You're paying me $160 per session. Uh, here's your money. When you're ready, come back. Like
yeah,
I don't want people sad or saying that my profession is not good or whatever. So I only have people around me, or I try to have everyday people around me that value my presence. They say, okay, I wanna have a chat with Ignacio. I wanna take a coffee with Ignacio because he has something that I need. He has something that is providing value. I believe one of the things that we need to respect is people time.
absolutely.
And when you are with somebody, you need to give value. And value is not a little value. No, you need to give tons of value that the people need to feel overwhelmed, like, who is this guy,
Uh huh.
and why he have all this knowledge, and why I meeting him right now, why I didn't met him 10 years ago. Well, like, people need to feel that when they have a meeting with you, when they take a coffee with you, the people need to feel like, wow, I need to know what this guy
It's about
have,
yeah.
or I need to share more time with him because it's a life changing experience. I think
That's a great place to be,
very
and it's a
important.
great aspiration to have that kind of energy and that kind of, again, to know your shit well enough that people are, and that's an aspiration to be chased constantly, because that's not a destination. You have to take and be constantly aspiring for that. And that's constantly what the aspiration is here, and this is what this entire podcast is about, is really knowing what you do well enough that you can make meaningful change in the people's lives that you interact with.
Hmm.
That's what closing for life is, because if you're doing that every day, man, your business is just such a gem, such a great place to go and be every single day. You can have a smile on your face when you talk about your business the way that you do, Ignacio, because you love what you do and you know you're making meaningful change. I say it in classes that I teach all the time, folks. I know you took however many hours it is away from money making activities to be here. I hope, I hope in all that I do, and this whole thing is set up to try to give you a return on that investment. Because if I don't do that, I failed you. I don't want it just to be a little return. I want it to be, as you said, a fire hose, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing kind of return. Because I want to give you the best of the best that I've got, the best that I found. And if that's not what my product is, I don't want to be in that business anymore,
Hmm.
because I need to do something that I'm great at. And everything short of doing that is me missing out on someplace else that I probably could be, or I would be doing something great. I got to find what I can be great at. And I think that's a great message, Ignacio. I really, really do. So let me ask you this. If you had to summarize, and I want this to be big picture, this question. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about your specific technique. It could just be in business in general or whatever. But what are the most important things you've learned in the process of doing what you do? You were to take and try to give somebody, like, let me give you a few words of wisdom. What would they be?
Well, I received this revelation uh, and I'm writing about it on my book. um, Work-life balance doesn't work, and it will be published in a couple of months. And I got this revelation about faith, and you should have faith in all the stuff that you do. And as a psychologist, we always evaluate the variables. We need to have variables that we can measure, that we can establish. And when you talk about faith, it's very open, it's very broad, it's very like
Nebulous.
people
Yeah.
do not understand very well what you're talking about when you talk about faith. And I went to the Bible and I dig deep on this, and I found four variables that you need to have very clear in an area of your life to have faith in that area. And those four variables are your presuppositions. What do you believe about that area in life? And I will give you examples of these four the presuppositions, your vision, your purpose, your why, and your strategy, your plan. You need to have super clear those four. For example, if you want to have money in life, you're gonna have presuppositions or brain belief that will uh, stuck you in a corner that you don't want to be. Like money is bad, or people that have money is bad people,
Sure.
or that this they did something wrong, or the money don't grow on trees, things like that. Those are presuppositions. Those are things that in your brain, if you have that presupposition that money do not grow in trees and you want to make money, that belief will be against you. So that is
Yeah.
important. Your presuppositions are very important. Your visions, how you see yourself in the future, and and how you build that law of attraction. The why is your motivation. It's an internal motivation. It's the fire inside why you're doing that. And the plan is the goals in short, medium, and long time goals. And people say, well, that how you connect that with faith? What how you connect that? And I found words in the Bible they actually connect with this. The word amen, that was the initial word used by Jesus in Aramaic. The word, when you translate that word in pistilo and ergon, which actually is the action, the faith is composed by these two words, pistilo and ergon. And those two words divide. Pistilo is the belief that you believe now, your presupposition, and how you see yourself in the future. So it's divided in those two first ones that I presented to you. And the ergon, the word ergon, is divided in two also. The passion, your purpose to do things, and how that purpose will move you in the future. So these four factors, if you do it in simple things in your life or very complex things in your life, you will find the energy, the passion, the plan, anything that you need. You can do it like you can start making your bed or fixing your room, cleaning your room. You can do this exercise with very small tasks. Find your presuppositions. Okay, if you are an organized person in your room, you will be success in business. That is a presupposition. If you see your vision, okay, I see my room organized every day. You have a why. I want my room to be clean because if I feel better at night when I come back. And you have a plan. Okay, every day I will do it in this way. From small tasks to big tasks, I use this technique for couple relationship. I use this technique to base the relationship with your kids, with your money, with your finances, with your physical health. Like if you want to be a new person in your physical body, you want to lose weight, you want to gain mass, muscle mass, and you analyze these four levels, and you are super clear in your mind in these four levels, nothing will stop you. Nothing. Nothing,
Sure.
because you will not have any doubt about what you are doing. You
Right.
will be,
Your mind won't be fighting against you as you seek to take and make progress. That makes
yes,
sense.
you need to have these four levels super aligned in anything that you do in life.
That makes sense. No, I mean people often wind up in situations where their own mind is fighting against them because not everything the whole psyche is not pulling the same direction, if you will, for lack of this is a novice using a psychological term, but they're not pulling their whole self is not pulling in the same direction, and so you wind up in this malaise, this nebulous area that folks wind up in where they can't make progress and they keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again.
And it's super simple to adjust little pieces in each one of these segments.
Sure.
And people feel it. It's amazing how you feel it. Wow, now I want to go to the gym. Like Ignacio just did this adjustment with this audio in my presuppositions, and now I want to go to the gym. It's what Tony Robbins uh, is doing with people, is what a lot of coaches are doing with their clients. Is changing little things. Little things. People believe that this is super difficult and it's a humongous endeavor to do this. But no, it's just paying attention to the right things. We are paying attention to things that are not important to us. What is happening with with politics? What is happening with at the world? What is happening with my sister, or in Instagram, or in Facebook? When you should pay attention to details in your own life that
Sure.
are important for the things that you want to do.
No, it's huge. It makes a big difference when you start to really pay attention to the what makes up how you make your choices and the decisions you make, and taking responsibility for those things, and really owning that, hey, look, I am not just a passenger. I am actually a person that is an agent for change in my own life, and those changes need to happen, and they need to be consistent in my entire way of thinking. No, I could not agree more, and I see it even with the folks that I coach. I see the exact same thing. So I'm with you 100% on the same page.
And people need to realize that life is not, um, you know, these parties and these Instagram pictures and these super successful videos. Life, the success in life is the 5 minutes that you have in the morning with your kids, like waking them up with kisses in the morning and having a dinner with your wife. Those are the things that are important in life, and those things are happening every day. So you need to improve those small things every day. And when you put all that together, the sum of all those things is when you have a great life.
Absolutely. So let me, what ties in with my next question. Next question is a two-part question. What are you most proud of that you've accomplished in your business?
In my business, I don't believe I'm there yet.
Okay.
Like I want more.
Okay. So
I
there's no goal line you've crossed where you're like, you know what, I am proud that I got that.
well, every day I'm proud of something, like a new client. I'm proud of a new client. I'm proud of a new courses that I take. I'm proud of a new certification. I'm proud of my website. It's an amazing website. I have an academy where I can teach people all over the world. Every day is something that I say is I appreciate every second of my life, man.
Beautiful.
For example, the other day I was talking with a person. I say, I'm super cool. I'm dressed. When I do my hypnosis session, I dress like with a blue uniform, like a doctor. I like I I'm super cool. I'm on my uniform, on my motorcycle, and I just healed the brain of somebody. Like I'm a cool guy. Like
That's pretty interesting.
like I that day I mentioned it to that person because I felt so cool. I just had an amazing session, and the person was super happy, and I was in my motorcycle with my uniform, and I felt like what a cool guy I am. Like when you see like Tom Cruise in the motorcycle,
Yeah, Top Gun.
I felt like that. I felt like so if you ask for goals, I believe every day I have new goals that I love, that I achieve, but I want more. Like I want to have an army of coaches with all the knowledge that I have, healing people and supporting people in their success is what I want. I don't want to save the world. I just want to have 10 solid guys or girls working on my side, doing this. I want 10. That's my goal. And I had one or two, but they're not sure. They this, that. So that is my next goal. My next goal is to have 10 people well trained around me doing what I'm doing. And I believe that will be the line. When I pass that line, I will say, now I'm proud. Now I can sit down and
All right. So
and
let's take and put a spin on it. Let's take business out of it. What are you most proud of in life that you've accomplished?
well, marriage is not easy nowadays. Like
Mm.
I have more than 14 years marriage with Natalie, 20 years together as a couple, and it has been wonderful, difficult, and sometimes, but I'm very proud of that. My two kids, Sabrina and Samuel. Yesterday we went to a music concert. Sabrina was playing the tuba, uh, bigger than her,
Yeah, I was
and
thinking the tuba. I'm thinking,
I say, why you pick the tuba? That is so weak. But when I see them, like we are black belts in kung fu, the whole family. I'm super proud of that. Every time we go to train 3-4 times a week all together, and I'm not super proud. We are the only full family in the Kung Fu Academy that we do it all together.
it's nice.
Beside the owners of the academy, and I'm super proud of that. I'm super
Awesome.
happy
You
to
should
share
be.
with them that. Yeah,
That
yeah.
that, that those are that is there's a country song, but that's called the good stuff, and that is the good stuff right there. So how about this? What one piece of advice, speaking directly to the people listening, what one piece of advice would you give them if you could? Something to hang on to, something
One piece,
simple
like
that you think is
pay
is
it,
is a
pay
good step.
attention to the present. Be mindful. Something simple like learn how to breathe. Like everybody believe they know how to breathe because they take it as normal thing that happen every day because you wake
I'm
up
not
and you
gonna lie, I
breathe.
just took a big deep breath when you said that. I was
Yeah,
like,
people need to learn how to breathe. Like you give instructions to your body with the breathing. When you breathe fast, you prepare your body for a presentation, for a talking. Like Tony Robbins do it every time he goes into a show or something. That bring you adrenaline, noradrenaline, like help you to be ready to fight or flight. But when you don't need it anymore, you can breathe,
yeah,
and that will calm your body. So people need to learn how to breathe in the chest, breathe in the stomach, and when you learn how to breathe, that automatic process bring you to the present. You start admiring your your partner details, like all the freckles on their face, and you
yeah.
start enjoying the food, the flavor in the food. People go to eat, and they are in this state of fight or flight. No, you need to sit down and take a big breath.
And
Now you're
be
ready to eat,
in the moment. Yeah,
and be in the moment. Be in the moment.
absolutely.
Enjoy that moment.
Absolutely. No, I was just out of town the other day, and you know me pretty well.
Yeah.
I go when I go, I'm going, and I don't really stop. And I was sitting with my mom. I took her out there to visit her father, who's 95 years old,
Wow.
and we were at this little like fast food place, and I was just sitting there, and it was time we were done eating. I said, you know what? I don't want to go right now. Let's just sit here for a little while. And I'm going to go refill my soda, and we're just going to sit here, and we're just going to, it's okay to not have to rush off to do something else. And you're right. It is. It is something, it's a learned response because we're almost guilted into feeling like we have to be going a million miles per hour constantly, or we're somehow not worthy of success. And getting into that mindset of, you know what, I've worked hard and I've earned a break, and I need to take it. And I need,
Mm.
when I take it, I need to take it fully. I work with excellence. I need to relax with excellence. That excellence has to be across the board, because if you don't, you're not giving your body what it needs. It's, you're asking a lot from it, and you're not giving it the break that it needs, and you're not living the life that you're capable of having. You're cheating yourself out of the good stuff, and that's never a good
That's
thing.
the reason I tell my clients, look, hypnosis is a hack that will bring you that relaxation into a deep state of for your body and for your mind. I do three hypnosis every day: one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one before going to bed, and that give me a recharge in my body. So when I rest, I really rest. It's
Yeah, yeah.
deep. It's deep. I go into REM state three times a day during the day and at night. That gives you the capacity to reshape your brain, reshape your thinking process, and to be clear when you are working at the level that we do, because I know you, and I do the same when I'm working 200% of my capacities in my body, in my mind. It's like I'm giving everything. So there is a point during the day that you deplete yourself.
Yep.
So you need to be clear of that. Okay, I'm depleted. Now what? Now what I'm doing, what I need to do to refresh my brain. So I use hypnosis, and it's amazing how it's not new. Like
Oh.
this is super old, and I understand why it's not teaching the school. Why kids do not know this at school. Like hypnosis is one of the tools used by leaders and in the Second World War, in the First World War, and I don't know why people is
I
not
think
using it.
it's largely misunderstood. And I mean,
Oh yes, it's more similar to meditation
right,
than the things that we see in movies or TV
right.
shows.
It's gotten a branding issue a little
Yes.
bit. I mean, I can tell you. I mean, my stupidly simple little relax for me is, I'm blessed to have my own office, and I bring my dog with me to the office. And so for 5 minutes, I go and I sit in the floor and I just hang out with the dog for a little bit. And for me, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just hanging
Hmm.
out with the dog, and it's my unplug. I mean, there's probably better ways to do it, but I found that when I do that for
Actually,
5 minutes,
actually not. That is one of the best thing we psychologists use dogs for PTSD,
I know.
and that practice is one of the most simple and powerful practice. Bring a dog, just lay it on the floor and play with the dog for 15 minutes. That is
Yep.
a meditative state where you recharge yourself. So you're
It
doing it
is.
very
It's
well.
it's just this innocent creature that just, they want to hang out with you. And um I know that I do that for 5 minutes, and I'm good to go for another couple hours. I mean, it's a reboot. And it's been a huge blessing. You would think it's a distraction, but in reality, it's been more of a blessing than anything else. So
No, no, it's not. People need to find spaces where they are in control, because anxiety peak when you don't have control of the things around you.
sure.
When you go in a state that you have the control, especially with a dog, because you are controlling the dog. You are the alpha in that moment, and you are so secure because you are the boss in that situation. So that state of be in control will give you calm. So if you, and it's a recommendation for the people that is listening right now, if you find moments, spaces in your day where you feel 100% in control, those spaces will give you calm and reduce the stress in the everyday life situations.
Good stuff. So we've talked a lot about your past, how you got here. We're talking about what you're doing in the present. Let's take a peek at the future. I know you're a guy that's got plans, you got things on the burner. What is next for you? What's the next big project you're working on?
Well, I have two parallel worlds. One is in Spanish and one is in English. So in the Spanish world, I already have the academy and training people and certifying people on the techniques that I practice. I have a certification program on August 18, no, August 11 and 12 is the hypnosis certification that I'm doing. And in English, I'm publishing my book in 2 months. Work life balance doesn't work, and I will be doing trainings on that. Like the academy, I will put some materials in English for that book, and it's basically a training for the people to know their shit in 10 areas: their physical life, their mental life, their emotional life, their character, the spiritual life, their love relationship, their relationship with their kids, relationship with the family and friends, social, their career, and their finances. So we will be analyzing the 4 levels of faith that I already mentioned to you in the program on those 4 areas.
Gotcha.
And I will be training people on how to do it.
Good stuff. All right. And so, how about this? Besides meditation or hypnosis, what do you do to unwind? If folks want to know a little bit more about the Ignacio that's not at work, what do you do to unwind? Is there a show that you watch? Is there something you like to do?
Well, kung fu for me is a big thing. Every time I don't go to train because I have an appointment or something, I feel that I'm missing something in my life. It's very important for me to go and train, exercise. In the morning, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. and I take a coffee with my wife in the hammock. We have a patio. So we take a coffee, we talk, we chat about what we want to do during the day. We walk the dogs. We have a big area on the backyard that we walk the dogs in the park, and that recharges me every morning. Like just walk with the dogs, enjoy the sunset in the morning. I like to go to the beach. We are like 50 minutes from Hollywood Beach, and so when I feel that I need a mental or an emotional recharge, a spiritual recharge, I just go there 4 in the morning to see the sun go up. I have a swimsuit, the
The wetsuit.
dive. The,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
wetsuit.
And I go there and just float because it filled with air,
Yeah.
and yet I just float there for like 15, 20 minutes, looking at the sky, the clouds, and I see the sun going up, and I come back home after the sun come up.
Nice.
And that is a good practice for meditation. I love it. I like to party. I dance a lot. I dance salsa merengue, and I love it. I can dance the whole night long.
Good stuff.
Uh, so those things I do, I share with friends. I go to church every Sunday. I love Potential Church, and I really like the community. I serve there in different groups. So I'm a social person. I like
Yeah.
to be around people. People recharge me, and that helped me a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Last question. If folks are like, you know what? I like this guy. I want to find this guy. Where would folks go to find you?
Well, my website, ignaciosegovia.com, my academy, ergonacademy.com. Also, you can find me in Instagram, Ignacio Segovia 1. In Instagram, you can follow me and text me there. Also, in the website in English is Hypnosis HC, hypnosishc.com is in English. Also, you can make an appointment there. And at church, at Potential Church. You can come at
There we
Potential
go.
Church. You will see me there at the door saying hi to people.
Love it. Well, Ignacio, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing a little bit about what you do and telling us about yourself. It was genuinely a pleasure hanging out with you.
Have a wonderful day, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.